Good, everybody. Welcome back. And we are going to be finishing up the National League East today. The Washington Nationals, a team that is still in a little bit of a rebuild stage. They took in some leaps. And this is a team a few years ago, won a World Series. They had Juan Soto. They traded him. I think they got a really good package for him. And, they're not afraid to pay. They mostly paid pitchers. They paid Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, Steven Strasburg. Like they've handed out money, so I'm going to spend some money with this team. It ain't like they're like the Pirates or the Marlins or teams like that. They're not going to go out and hand out, 500, 600 million to a Juan Soto because that's just not how they roll. So let's take a look at the roster. So you can take a look at the rotation. It's a very young rotation. You got Mitchell Parker, who had a decent year last year in his first full season, 25 years old. You got Mackenzie Gore, who they got in the Juan Soto trade. He's still progressing, hopefully, towards being an ace. I don't know if he's going to become a number one, but I think he could be a number two, number three in the rotation on a very good team. Jake Irving, who's been with the Nats 2 seasons now, been decent his first 2 seasons, ERA around 4.5 each season. Josiah Gray, who they got from the Dodgers a few years ago, been up and down, got hurt, not really been consistent at the major league level. And then you have Mike Soroka, who's also dealt with injuries as well. So that's our starting five. Definitely going to need some work on the starting rotation, either through trades or free agency. Not the best starting five. You also have Trevor Williams, a veteran. And then you have guys like Jarlin Susana, who's beat potential. Other than that, not a lot of top prospects. The bullpen definitely needs some work as well. You got Colin Pache, who used to be with the Rays. Derek Law, DJ Hurst, who's 24 years of age, definitely has potential. Lucas Sims, Jose Air Ferrer, who actually was pretty good, and I don't remember what team we had him in, but we got him in a franchise, and he was actually pretty good for us. And then Jorge Lopez. So maybe we look through free agency. I always sign some of those like Zach Jacksons, but we might actually need them in this franchise early on because our bullpen's a mess. You have Kyle Finnegan as our closer. I don't know why his overall is so low. I feel like it should be higher because he didn't have a bad year last year, but whatever. You got Keibert Ruiz. They never really give him a lot of love when it comes to the overalls either. I'm not saying he should be like an 80, but he should at least be like a 75 in my opinion. Riley Adams, who's a backup catcher. Nathaniel Lowe, who they got in the offseason, adds a big power bat at first base. Hopefully that helps us with the power, even though his power numbers aren't really that like high in the game. And then Josh Bell returned to Washington, free agent to be after the season. We'll have to see how he performs, more like a platoon role. And then you have Juan Yepes. Second base, you got Luis Garcia, who's still only 24 years of age. He's been in the major league since 2020, so debuted at 19. This is another thing the Nationals do. They're not afraid to debut young players early in their ages. I mean, they debuted Bryce Harper young, Juan Soto, Luis Garcia. So they're not afraid to call up prospects really early. Ahmed Rosario, bench bat. Paul DeYoung, who they brought in, good power hitter. We'll have to see how he performs. Brady House, who's only C potential now, which sucks. He used to be A potential. Surprised they lowered that. The Nats don't really have a lot of high prospects right now. A lot of them have graduated to the major leagues. C.J. Abrams, who's an absolute stud, 20 home runs last year. He's going to be huge for us in this franchise. And then no really top shortstop prospects. James Wood, who they got in the Juan Soto trade as well, had a good debut season last year. Hopefully he continues to build off that. We need him to be a producer out in left field. We have Jacob Young, only 25 years of age, known for his glove, 99 fielding. Reminds me of Harrison Bader by the way he plays. Not really much of a hitter, but a guy who can really go out and use his glove out in center field. And you have Robert Hassell III, another guy I think they got in the Juan Soto trade. And then you have Dylan Cruz in right field, another young outfielder top prospect they have. So this team needs some work. Obviously, they're young. This division is tough with the Braves, the Mets, the Phillies, who we just got done doing a franchise with. Like, this is going to be a very tough division to win. Like, we're going to have to be very strategic with the moves we make. Obviously, we have a certain budget. We don't have a lot of guys locked on like long-term deals, which is good. So we do have some money to spend when we need to. But we're going to have to be very smart because we're not going to be going out and spending money on a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or going out and spending $300 million on a starter. So it's going to be very interesting. But I'm going to get to work, maybe sign some bullpen arms, and we'll get this franchise underway. We're going to make a trade to help our rotation a little bit. We're going to trade Josiah Gray and Andres Champero, a C-level prospect first baseman. Josiah Gray's not really having a great year. ERA close to 6. It's time to move on. Cutter Crawford, not that he's having an amazing season, but it's definitely more stability in our rotation. Our first trade deadline, I know I didn't show a lot of the mid-season stats in the last video because I figured we're going to make the playoffs a lot. I'm not really sure with this team, so if we have enough time, I'll show them each season. But we're sitting 57 and 52 right now at the trade deadline. So we're doing better than I expected. CJ Abrams has unfortunately been hurt most of the season. He's been a huge loss for us. Obviously, our best player right now. Fractured leg. He'll be back within the next week, which is huge because even though we're not within the division, we are a game back of the wild card. There's a lot of teams just scrambled within one another. I mean, the Padres, the Pirates, the Reds, us, Giants, Mets, D-backs, all within a game to 2 games. So, I mean, it's really going to be a dogfight for sure between like 7, 8 teams for that wild card. Let's see how everybody's been doing, and maybe we can make some potential moves. So, Alvin Rosario has not had a good season. Usually he's a guy who hits for average, but has not done that this season. 2 home runs, 26 RBIs, 216 average. Jacob Young, not really known for his bat, but he's not really having like a horrible offensive season, about where his numbers usually are. Nathaniel Lowe, okay season, nothing really to go crazy about. 13 home runs, 45 RBIs. Paul DeYoung is not providing hardly anything offensively, hitting cleanup too, only with 5 home runs. Luis Garcia having a solid year, 12 home runs, 51 RBIs. He's got a good slugging. James Wood with 18 home runs, 59 RBIs. I think we need to move James Wood up to the cleanoff spot right now because he is raking. The 18 home runs, 59 RBIs, 280 average, slugging 530. And you have Josh Bell's been okay this season. 7 home runs, 30 RBIs for Josh. Keibert Ruiz is having a solid year, 12 home runs, 42 RBIs, 245 average. Dylan Cruz has been solid, 14 home runs, 46 RBIs, potential up to, or his overall is up to 78 now. So a lot of our young players getting the job done. They're developing, they're growing. We see James Wood getting better. We see Luis Garcia having a solid year. We see Keibert Ruiz getting better. So that's good to see. Dylan Cruz. Riley Adams has been not great. And then we had this guy, Nasim Nunez, who's only 24. Not bad offensively so far. Alex Call, providing some pop off the bench as a fourth outfielder. And then Juan Yepes, who's been hurt a little bit, has not been bad either. So our lineup definitely needs like a big, big bat. I do think Lowe and Wood are both good power hitters. At least Wood is right now, but we need more power in this lineup for sure. We could definitely, when we get Abrams back, that'll definitely help within the next week. But I do think we still need another bat, maybe at third base. And then we look at the rotation. Mitchell Parker's been great. 6 and 8, 2.91 ERA. Mackenzie Gore, though, not a great season. 2 and 12 record, ERA over 5. Man, that's not what you want to see from him. Jake Irving's been okay, 5 and 4, 4.8 or 6.4, excuse me, ERA. Cutter Crawford's been really good since he's gotten to Washington. 6 and 7, 3.58 ERA. It was like 4 when we got him in the trade, so he's been a good pickup. And then Trevor Williams, been good in that fifth starter spot. 5 and 4. He's a free agent. No, he's not a free agent actually. So we have him for next year as well. 3.80 ERA. So really, the main concern is Mackenzie Gore. He has not been good. Mike Soroka has been awful. He's been hurt, but he's been not good. ERA close to 7. DJ Hers getting the job done. 3.97 ERA in that long relief role. Joe Kelly, who we signed in free agency to a 1-year deal. He's been good. 3.15 ERA, 5 and 3 record. Derek Law has not been good, ERA over 5. Kyle Finnegan's not been good either, ERA over 5. Carl Edwards Jr., we also signed. We brought him back to Washington. Been good this year, 3.75 ERA, I'll take that. Colin Pache's been excellent. We've been getting a lot of trade offers for him, and I see why. 2.23 ERA for him with 16 holds. And Zach Jackson, who we signed in free agency as well. I know I signed him a lot in free agency, but he's just like an easy guy to get in your bullpen. 3.29 ERA. He has 6 blown saves with 27 saves, so he's been good as well. So our bullpen's not been as bad as I expect. There are some weak links. Obviously, Derek Law, Finnegan, and Soroka have not been great. But, it's been, I thought it would be a lot worse than that. So I'm going to look through some trades, see if there's anything we can do, and if there's any trades I end up making, I'll let you guys know. For Isaac Paredes from the Houston Astros. He's having a really good season, 19 home runs, 51 RBIs. He's got good offensive stats. I think he'll really help out at third base. We're going to give them Paul DeYoung. Emmanuel Ramirez is a 21-year-old outfielder, 55 overall. And we're going to trade them Jose Tina, 23-year-old shortstop. I think this is a fair trade, and we add some power to our lineup. Trade Alice Clemmy, 19-year-old starting pitcher, and Derek Law, who we've been getting a lot of interest in, for Aaron Ashby, who is in the minor leagues right now with the Brewers. He's having a really good season down in AAA. We add him to our bullpen. He's only 26 still, so I think this is a good flyer on a guy who's still young. So first regular season is over, and we end up finishing with 90 wins. How about that? I didn't expect us to finish with 90 wins. Second in the division, we end up making the wild card as well. We'll be facing the Brewers. A surprising and very awesome first season for the Washington Nationals in this franchise. We had some league leaders or an award winner. Dylan Cruz wins NL Rookie of the Year. Let's see how everybody did before we get this first postseason run underway. CJ Abrams, even though he only played 94 games, he was productive in those 94 games. 18 home runs, 54 RBIs, 263 average. Good for him to see that. Jacob Young, not a bad year. I mean, he had an improved year from last year. Nathaniel Lowe ended up finishing with 22 home runs, 74 RBIs. I'll take that. James Wood, good first full season for him. 21 home runs, 82 RBIs. Great to see that. Isaac Paredes with 31 home runs in his first season in Washington, or his first half season in Washington. He's going to be a big bat for us in the playoffs. Luis Garcia with 22 home runs. We have a lot of power in this lineup, which is surprising. 22 home runs, 78 RBIs, 268 average. Josh Bell had an okay season. 9 home runs, 20 home runs for Keibert Ruiz. How about that? That's a surprise. 60. So we had a lot of guys who were surprising. And then Dylan Cruz won NL Rookie of the Year. Not the most amazing stats, but he popped 17 home runs, 64 RBIs. So we had, besides Josh Bell and Jacob Young, everybody had double digits home runs and over 15 home runs. So I think this offense has taken a leap that we didn't really expect it to. Let's see the bench. Riley Adams was okay as a backup catcher. Ahmed Rosario just didn't have a good season for us. Robert Hassell Jr., we called him up due to an injury, and he made the most. I think Alex Call got hurt, so he'll be our fourth outfielder for the wild card. And he made the most of it, 15 for 47. And then Nasim Nunez had a good offensive showing as well. And then Juan Yepes was good off the bench. So we take a look at the pitching. Mitchell Parker was great, 9 and 10, 3.04 ERA. We had Jake Irving, was okay. Mackenzie Gore is out, by the way. He's out for the playoffs, unfortunately. So that's going to sting. Mike Soroka was okay, 4.85 ERA. Cutter Crawford was good. We're going to move him up in the rotation to second. And we have Trevor Williams, who was fantastic, 10 and 6, 3.05 ERA. So do I worry about this rotation going into a series in the playoffs? Yes, I do think that's going to be our main focus in the playoffs. But I do think our offense could definitely carry us a good amount. Jose A. Ferrer, 0 ERA in 3 innings. Joe Kelly was good, 6 and 4, 7 holes, 3.09 ERA for the veteran. Aaron Ashby, how about him? 1.90 ERA in 71 innings. Kyle Finnegan just couldn't get it going this season. He's a free agent to be. Carl Edwards Jr. was great, 3.01 ERA in 80 innings, 7 and 4 record. Colin Pache was fantastic, 5 and 3, 3 saves, 29 holds, 2.89 ERA. And then Zach Jackson with 48 saves as our closer with a 2.71 ERA. So let's see if we can shock some people in the playoffs. We already had a shocking regular season. We're going to sim game 1 against Milwaukee here. We lose that, or we win that actually. So we end up losing game 2. So we're going to a do or die game in the wild card series against the Milwaukee Brewers, who won 92 games. We're on the road. We're going to have Jake Irving on the mound, Aaron Savali on the mound for the Brew Crew. Here we go. Can we make it to the next round? We get 3-run home run by James Wood to start off the game. Let's see if Jake Irving, and there's a 2-run bomb by Reese Hoskins. It was both teams coming out the gate hot offensively. There's a run thanks to Jacob Young, so it's 4-2 Nationals. So Aaron Savali. My bad about the audio, by the way. I forgot to turn that down. I'll turn that down after this game. So there's a run scores thanks to Josh Bell. Bases loaded. Another run scores Jose Quintana in the pitch. So 6-2. Solo shot by Paredes. 7-2. And man, we might actually advance to the playoffs. I'm not jinxing it yet though, because the Brew Crew is getting on the board. I think we're gonna take out Jake Irving. We're gonna put in Jose Ferrer here. And a grand slam. I jinxed myself. Jose Ferrer gives up a grand slam to Jackson Churio to tie the game. Oh my goodness. Who would have called that? Actually, I probably would, because knowing my luck. We're going to bring in Carl Edwards Jr. One out double, a walk, and a run scores, and the Brewers take the lead. We're going to bring in former Brewer Aaron Ashby. Jose Quintana gives the ball to Joel Payamps here in the seventh. Man, that's going to be a tough way to lose. So we're going to go to Colin Pache here to face some righties. Walks two, strikes out. So top of the ninth, middle of the order coming up. We got Lowe, Wood, and Paredes. Brian Hudson in the pitch. Fly out, ground out, hit by pitch, strikeouts. So we're going to bring in Zach Jackson to try to keep this game close, and he gives up a two-run bomb to William Contreras, and it's 10-7. Trevor McGill in to close it out. Josh Bell flies out. Keyword Ruiz flies out, and we lose. I think I jinxed myself there, ladies and gentlemen. I said, "Oh, we're up 7-2. We're good," and then we we give up a grand slam, and then William Contreras says nighty-night to the Washington Nationals. And we are done for the postseason. The Phillies defeat the Mariners to win the World Series. All a successful first season. And I think our main focus in the offseason will be pitching, pitching, pitching. Maybe another bat to put in our lineup. But I do think maybe we go out and get a better catcher. We'll see. I mean, Kiwi's actually had a good year. So our lineup looks like it. Maybe a DH. A DH is probably what we need for sure in the lineup. And then pitching, we need to go out and get an actual ace. I mean, that's something we need. Our pitching just ain't going to get the job done long term. And we're going to have to make that happen. So I'm going to get to work. So here we are, second season. And we're about to find out if last season was a fluke. Are we a 90-win team the next two seasons of this franchise video? Or are we going to drop to 70 wins, 80 wins? We made some moves. We went out and got Yuri Perez. We needed an ace. None of the free agents wanted to sign here that were big-time names. We did get one starting pitcher free agent. We traded a pretty good amount to get him. 22 years of age, 85 overall. He adds an ace to our rotation. He's making cheap money, so we can maybe go out and make another move in the future. We signed Ranger Suarez. He was probably the best starter we could get, unfortunately, and that's not me saying that to be like disrespectful to him. It's just I was really hoping to go out and get like an ace, and we just couldn't do it. But he's still a great number two. He had a great year last year in Philly. 17-4, 3.13 ERA. And then we have Cutter Crawford, Mackenzie Gore, Jake Irving, and then Trevor Williams to be our long relief pitcher. We added to the bullpen. We went out and signed Jose Leclerc to a one-year deal. He had a 2.82 ERA last year. I think he'll fit in nicely in Washington. Carl Rivers Jr. is back. Paul Sewald, who also had an awesome year last year, we signed to a one-year deal. 2.07 ERA last year. Hunter Harvey, who was in Washington before, had a great year. So we had three relievers coming off very good seasons. Hopefully they can replicate that. Aaron Ashby's back as well. And then catcher. So we signed Jose Miranda, who was a free agent out there. He had a pretty good year last year. He's just some first base depth in our organization. If Yepes struggles or we make a trade or something. And then we signed Eugenio Suarez to be our DH. Coming off a really good year, 29 home runs, 88 RBIs with the power numbers our lineup showed last year. I think adding him makes our lineup even more dangerous. Shortstop, we got C.J. Abrams. Went out and signed Christopher Morel. I think he still has a good amount of potential. He had 20 home runs, in 2024. He had a really bad year last year. The Rays ended up releasing. We picked him up in free agency. He'll be a good bench bat with some power, which we needed. So I'm not too mad at that. So that's our team. I think we made some improvements. Do I think our pitching rotation is still a concern? Not as much. I think we definitely made some moves to shore that up. And the pitching is definitely a lot better. It's just up to our lineup to replicate what we did last year. So hopefully they can do that. So let's do it. We're doing this trade. We're going to trade Eugenio Suarez to the Reds. He just hasn't. He's not been horrible. I mean, he's still going to hit probably 30 home runs. It's just we're getting off this contract. He's getting up there in age a little bit. We really signed him just to be a power bat. And our team is struggling. You guys are going to see how bad. We're going to get Balcarza, who's a 21-year-old third baseman, and a right fielder, Jay Allen the second, which is a pretty good prospect call. The line, as you guys can see, it's been a rough season. 47-63, 17 and a half games back at the Phillies. It's been a rough season. I really thought we were going to build off last year. I don't know if I expected 90 wins, but I expect at least in the 80 to 85 wins, and we're going to get nowhere near that. And it's unfortunate because after last season, I thought, okay, we made some moves. We got an ace. We made some moves to add to the lineup with Suarez, who we ended up trading, and we added to the bullpen, and it just hasn't worked, and let's see why. So Jacob Young, not really bad. I mean, that's where he's going to be production-wise for his offense, and he's still going up in overall. He's 82 overall now. Like, I'm not really mad at that. So James Wood probably going to have a career year this year. 15 home runs, 50 RBIs the trade deadline, so he's probably going to put up career highs in home runs. Nathaniel Lowe, who's a free agent after this season, like, he hasn't been horrible. I don't know why his overall and potential is dropping. I mean, that's not really a horrible offensive season. And then you look at Isaac Paredes, not bad. I mean, 19 home runs, 63 RBIs. He's probably going to have another 30 home run year. Luis Garcia has not been good. Only 3 home runs all year. Only 24 runs driven in. I mean, he's been almost an afterthought offensively. Not that his average on base and slugging is like awful, but man, he has not been anywhere near where he was last year. Christopher Morel, we're giving him an opportunity for the rest of the season to play third base, see if he can make the most of it. I'm probably going to have him be a bench bat going forward, but let's see if he can make. I mean, he's not been horrible this year off the bench. CJ Abrams, not bad. I mean, 13 home runs, 53 RBIs, 269 average, slugging for over 400. Keibert Ruiz has been awful as well, nowhere near. So him and Luis Garcia have both had dreadful seasons offensively. I mean, that's been a big part of our struggles. After both hit 20 home runs last year, both have not been able to replicate that, which I was a little bit concerned about. Like, are some of these younger players going to be able to replicate what they did last year? And we've had a few struggle. Dylan Cruz, I've expected more this year, and hopefully he at least gives us 20 home runs, but he's not really been good offensively either. So a lot of guys struggling. And we look at Darren Baker, we caught up, he hasn't played a game yet. Jose Miranda, who was raking in the minor leagues, we traded Juan Yepes, and we're giving him an opportunity to be a bench bat. Riley Adams, not much offensively, and then Nasim Nunez has actually been a pretty good bench bat for us. So we have a lot of guys struggling in this lineup. By the way, if you guys hear background noise, that's a mower in the background. I apologize. But just a lot of struggling, and that's unfortunate. Let's take a look at the pitching. Yuri Perez not really pitching like an ace. 5-9, 4.17 ERA. Rangers Suarez has not been great either. We paid him a lot of money. Not been great. 5-9, 4.38 ERA. Cutter Crawford's been good. 10-8, 3.85 ERA. Mackenzie Gore, not bad for a fourth starter. I mean, I'll take that. 4-6, 4.12 ERA. And then Jake Irving's been fantastic. 10-7, 3.70 ERA. So our two top starters have really struggled. Not that they've been like horrible, but they definitely not pitched like we had hoped. Trevor Williams in his walk year, not really been great. ERA close to 5. DJ Hers has been awful in 7 innings. ERA not even close, over 9. Hunter Harvey's been good. That's one bright spot. Some of our free agent acquisitions. 0-3 record, but a 2.81 ERA. Aaron Ashby, not as good last year, but still an okay season. 3.59 ERA. Jose A. Ferrer. I always mispronounce this guy's name for some reason. 3-1, 3.65 ERA. He's made the most out of his opportunities. Jose Leclerc, not as good of a year as last year. 4.18 ERA. Zach Jackson has struggled after being one of our best bullpen arms last year. 4.46 ERA to move out of the closer spot. Paul Sewald with 21 saves, 2.54 ERA. So this team just has a lot of guys who are having down years, and it's just really added up. A lot of bats we expect to be better. A lot of pitchers like Yuri Perez and Rangers Suarez, we brought them in here to really shore up this rotation. They have not pitched like they have in the past, and it's really shown in our record. And I'm not really sure what the move should be. I don't know if we should sell off some veterans. We have a lot of guys due for free agency. We have, let me see real quick. Okay, so we have Trevor Williams who's due for free agency. We have a lot of our bullpen arms, Carl Edwards Jr., Jose Leclerc, Hunter Harvey, Paul Sewald, all due for free agency. Are we going to bring any of these guys back? It's a possibility. I don't know if we'll bring Sewald back because he's 35, and Edwards Jr. we might let walk with. He's been out most of the season with a broken hand. Zach Jackson we got signed. Nathaniel Lowe's a free agent. Do we trade him and give at bats to Miranda and go out and get a first baseman in free agency? That's a possibility. Everybody else I think is good for next season, I believe. Stone Garrett's actually playing well in AAA. Maybe we give him an opportunity to play more. So this is a tough call. I'm going to see if there's any deals out there that help us next year. And if we make any trades, I'll let you guys know. I know we're giving up on Rangers Suarez very early, but this opens up a lot of cap space. Maybe we can go out and get like a big-time ace. And we're going to get Camilo Duval, who helps our bullpen going forward. We're going to get a young shortstop and Joey LaCasey. And this might shock some of y'all, like, why are you trading an 85 overall starter? But I just feel like we can get somebody better in free agency. We're going to trade Nathaniel Lowe, who's due for free agency, to the Seattle Mariners for Gregory Santos and Emerson Hancock, two pitchers who help us out, and we get off a guy who's going to hit free agency and probably not going to be back anyways. The season's over. Didn't go the way we had hoped. 73 and 89, just nowhere near where we finished last season. So one good season, one lost season so far in this franchise. We got one more season left. Hopefully that's the one that goes the best. So let's see how everybody did. Pitching wise, Yuri Perez just didn't pitch like we had hoped. Hopefully next year he pitches like he's capable of pitching. 10 and 3, 4.42 ERA. Cutter Crawford has been great for us. He's been consistent. ERA around 3 or 4 every single season. 15-11, 3.43 ERA for him. Mackenzie Gore, 4.37 ERA. He just hasn't really been good in this franchise so far. 7 and 12 record. Jake Irving, about where his numbers are. I mean, ERA close to 4. And then Emerson Hancock was decent this year. 4.29 ERA, 4 and 4 record. Trevor Williams was good in his walk year. 3.86 ERA. I don't know if we'll bring him back. We'll see. Hunter Harvey was fantastic, 2.75 ERA. He's definitely one of the relievers I'll try to bring back in free agency. Aaron Ashby had another good year, 3 and 2 record, 2 saves, 9 holds, 2.64 ERA in 88 innings. Farrer was good, 2.68 ERA. Gregory Santos was fantastic as well. Good trade acquisition. I hope next season he pitches just like he's capable of pitching. 3.11 ERA. Jose Leclerc, we'll have to see if we bring him back. He had a good year, 3.62 ERA. Not as good as last year, but still a solid year. And then Zach Jackson ended up bouncing back in the second half, which is good to see, 18 holds. And then Camilo Duvall, we put in that closer spot. He made the most of it, 17 saves, 3 blown, and then 2.58 ERA. So our pitching wasn't awful. Like, our bullpen definitely bounced back, and our rotation definitely is still the weak link. I think we're going to go out and really try to get a big-time name in our starting rotation to pair with Yuri Perez. Since we traded Rangers Flores, we opened up some money, and we still have Cutter Crawford, Mackenzie Gore, Jake Irving, and then we could put Emerson Hancock and Trevor Williams a spot in a long relief role. So we take a look at the lineup. Jacob Young with a solid offensive season. I mean, those are not horrible numbers for a guy who's not known for his bat. He's taken step forwards every single season, really. So he's at 83 overall now. He's got good contact numbers. James Wood with another good year, career year, 26 home runs, 82 RBIs. Isaac Paredes has been fantastic for us. I mean, that's one of the trade acquisitions that's worked out. 37 home runs, 108 RBIs, 287 average, like 500. What a year for him. Luis Garcia had a better second half, but we definitely need him to have a better year next year because he just did not get the job done. C.J. Abrams, good year for him. 22 home runs. He was healthy. Almost played 162 games. Only missed 3 games all year, which is fantastic. 22 home runs, 84 RBIs, 260 average. Keyword Ruiz ended up bouncing back a little bit in the second half. 17 home runs, 64 RBIs for him. Dylan Cruz just hasn't played like we had hoped so far. Yeah, he won Rookie of the Year, but his offensive numbers have not really been amazing so far. And then Jose Miranda made the most of his opportunities at first base. 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. We look at, it looks like Christopher Morel got hurt because I don't see him on the team anymore. Alice Call played well in limited opportunities, 10 for 32. Riley Adams did not have a good offensive year. Nasim Nunez has really made the most of our bench opportunities. 294 average this year. You see his stats aren't amazing, but he's played well. And then Basabe didn't play well. So, and we also, I forgot one player on the bench we got in the trade, Christian Robinson. Didn't do too much in a major opportunity. So let me see how Chris Morel performed because I'm curious. They sent him down, which is interesting. Not really a great year, but I mean, he's doing better than some of our bench, so I don't really understand that move. So what do we need in the offseason? I think we need to get a first baseman, obviously. Third base, probably, unless we put Paredes back at. We could always move him to first or third, but I definitely think we do need a third baseman for sure. So first and third is definitely on the list. And then we need to get another starter, I think, to pair with Yuri Perez, the top row rotation, if we can get one, because a lot of the starting rotations are like, no, we don't want to go to Washington. And then we're going to have to try to re-sign at least Hunter Harvey, maybe Leclerc. We got a lot of guys in the bullpen who could take over that role. So let's get going with this third season. Hopefully it's not a bad season like this season. That's all we can hope. Of this video, here we go. We made some moves. We signed Shane Bieber. 4-year deal. He was hurt last year. There's a health concern with him. He has been healthy 2 out of the last 3 seasons. He only pitched 7 innings last year. But if he can get back to being the Shane Bieber we all know he can be, and you get Yuri Perez pitching like he's capable of, I think that's a very good 1-2 punch. So hopefully that pans out. Went out and signed Evan Phillips, who's come off a really good year, 1-year deal, 6.1 million. We brought back Hunter Harvey on a 1-year deal. And we also went out and signed AJ Puck, who comes off a really good season, 31 years of age, 6.4 million. And first base, we signed two guys. And Rhys Hoskins, I don't know why he signed so cheap with us. He was really interested in signing here. He's come off a 37 home run season. We'll put him at DH, and hopefully he can rake. We also signed Ryan Mountcastle to a 5-year deal, $14.1 million. Not really been great offensively. He is hitting for average, not much power like we've seen in the past. But hopefully he can just be a good first baseman for us. And we have everybody else were pretty much the same. I mean, we didn't really do much to the offense after that. I mean, we added those two, and I think that really shores up first base and DH. I mean, everybody else, if they're capable of having the years they're having, I think we could have a really good offense. And then pitching-wise, we made some moves to really shore up, things on the pitching side. So I do think this team can win 85 to 90 games if everybody plays the way they're capable of. So let's get to it. Deadline, we're sitting at 61 and 48. Good bounce back season. We're in second place right now behind the Phillies. And in the wild card, we're sitting 1.5 games up on the Dodgers. So really good bounce back season. Let's see why we've had so much success. So Jacob Young, not a great offensive season, but I think he'll still finish around what his career's been so far. James Wood's been decent so far. 14 home runs, 47 RBIs for him. Isaac Paredes having a down year, not anywhere near he's been the last 2 years, which is unfortunate. We need him to really get going in the second half. Rhys Hoskins has been fantastic, 20 home runs, 68 RBIs for him. CJ Abrams has been great, 18 home runs, 48 RBIs. Luis Garcia just hasn't really hit the last 2 seasons. I mean, he's having a better year at this point, but it's like after 2025, you thought this guy was going to take a big leap offensively. He just hasn't been able to do that. Keibert Ruiz has been solid so far, 12 home runs, 35 RBIs, hitting 248. Ryan Mountcastle has been pretty good, really. I mean, 16 home runs, 59 RBIs for him. And then Dylan Cruz I don't know what it is about Dylan Cruz in this franchise. He is just not hit like Dylan Cruz should be hitting. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Christopher Morel has been good. He's been a good acquisition for us. Like, I'm surprised the Rays really just let him go for nothing. 269 average, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs off the bench. Riley Adams is hitting 300. Nunez not been as good as he's been the last 2 seasons. And then Brady House, who's been getting an opportunity. 4 for 17, not too bad, limited opportunity. So let's take a look at the pitching. Shane Bieber, what an acquisition he's been. 11-2, 1.95 ERA for Bieber. Cutter Crawford, 3.42 ERA, 5-10 record. He's just been consistent this whole 3 seasons. Mackenzie Gore is having a better season. That's what you like to see. 5-4, 3.52 ERA. Jake Irving, how about his season? 12-6, 2.89 ERA. And then Yuri Perez is having a good year. He's been hurt. That's why he got moved down. But 7-4 and an ERA of 3. So our rotation's been fantastic. Emerson Hancock's been decent in that long relief role, about where he was last year when it comes to ERA. Evan Phillips has been fantastic, 2.60 ERA, 2-2 record. Gregory Santos has been good, 3.16 ERA. AJ Puck's having a down year, unfortunately, ERA over 4. Aaron Ashby, not a bad year, but definitely a concern seeing his ERA go up each season. Zach Jackson's having a down year. Camilo Duvall is having a down year. ERA close to 5. Hunter Harvey with 35 saves. I didn't realize Hunter Harvey was our closer, but he's done a good job in our closer spot. 35 saves, ERA a little high, but so it looks like our bullpen might be the only thing that's a little bit concerning. A little bit of high ERAs like from AJ Puck and Jackson and Duvall. But other than that, our team is playing fantastic, and I might make a move for a reliever, but other than that, I don't really see a lot of moves we really need to make. So if I do end up making a move, I'll let you guys know. If not, hopefully I'll see you guys in the postseason. Final regular season is over. We won 90 games. We win the wild card. We missed out on the division by 2 games. 92 games. Good to see that bounce back from us. We end up making the wild card. First place in the wild, we'll be facing the Dodgers. Oh boy, that should be fun. So let's see how everybody performed, and we'll get on with this postseason run. So Jacob Young keeps getting better each season. It's not a huge leap, but he keeps improving every season a little bit. That's all that counts. James Wood, a down year overall for him, which is unfortunate. Really thought he's going to have like a 30 home run year. Isaac Paredes, a down year for him as well. 18 home runs, 71 RBIs. Just not a good, especially when you're in a walk year too. That sucks. Reese Hoskins was fantastic. I mean, for a guy only making 6.5 million, he raked 34 home runs, 104 RBIs. CJ Abrams with a good year, 23 home runs, 65 RBIs. Numbers down a little bit, but not too concerning. Luis Garcia, down year from him, which sucks. Again, just didn't take that leap offensively after a good 2025. Ryan Mountcastle with 24 home runs. So what an acquisition he was in free agency. Really raked for us at first base. Dylan Cruz, we talked about him enough, just not good offensively in this franchise. And the injury we had, Keibert Ruiz is out the rest of the season. I think he tore his ACL or something, which sucks. So we're giving Drew Milas and Riley Adams the platoon at catcher, which Drew Milas, switch hitter, really known for his defense and his arm. We'll have to see how he does in the postseason. Riley Adams has been good offensively this season. Nunez just had a bad year. Robert Hassell III didn't play, and Brady House. I don't know why they keep sending Christopher Morel down. I don't understand that. He didn't even have a bad year. I mean, I don't understand that. That's I don't know. I'm adding him back to the playoff roster because he's a big bat off the bench for us. I don't really understand why they keep sending him down because they had a pretty good offensive showing. 5 home runs, 22 RBIs, 275 average. So let's take a look at the pitching. Shane Bieber, fantastic season. 17 and 5, 2.41 ERA. We need him to pitch like an ace. We're gonna do anything in the playoffs. Cutter Crawford. Let's take a look at Yuri Perez. Good. I almost say good offensive season. 10 and 8, 3.48 ERA. I'll take that. Still not pitching like the ace we had hoped, but not bad. Mackenzie Gore had a great season. 10 and 7, 185 strikeouts and 188 innings. 3.21 ERA. Jake Irving was fantastic, 17 and 8, 2.91 ERA. And then Cutter Crawford, we've talked about how consistent he's been. So everybody in the rotation with the ERA under 4 is great to see. Emerson Hancock with a good season as well, long reliever, 3.91 ERA. Evan Phillips, 2.82 ERA. Gregory Santos was fantastic as well, 3.16 ERA. AJ Puck had a down year, which is unfortunate. I really thought he was going to be like a big-time arm in our pen. Aaron Ashby, not a bad year, 3.47 earned run average. Zach Jackson, about where his numbers were last year, which ain't bad. Camilo Duvall, not a good year. Just didn't get the job done. And then Hunter Harvey in that closer spot. He saved 50 games, but he had an ERA over 4. So the bullpen will be the only concern I have for this series against the Dodgers. Other than that, I think we're good. So we win game 1, we lose game 2. So we're going to a do or die game 3 against the almighty Dodgers. We didn't want to win more games than them, which is surprising. We're at home. We got Mackenzie Gore on the mounds. Here we go. Tommy Edman with a leadoff double, but we strike out the side. Tyler Glass now gives up a 2-run bomb to James Wood, and we're up 2-0 here. But we all know how the Dodgers are, and I'm not jinxing myself after the first season. We all know how that went. The Dodgers already tie it up anyways. So Mackenzie Gore gives up a solo shot to Pages. We got 2-on-3-run bomb. How about James Wood in this game? 2 home runs already. Has drove in, I think, all 5 for us, if I'm not mistaken. So Tyler Glass now has not been sharp. Maybe one more inning. Okay, we got to go to the pen. Solo shot by Ohtani. We're going to go to Gregory Santos here. 1, 2, 3 inning. Glass now still in the game. James Wood with 3 home runs here in game 3. Unbelievable. After a down offensive season, he is raking. So we're going to bring in AJ Puck here. Gets out of the jam. Michael Kopech in the pitch. Flamethrower. 2-out double. A walk. And we score a run thanks to Milas. Maybe one more inning out of Puck here. Gets out of it. Jason Adam in the pitch. He walks James Wood. I would too with the way he swung the bat. We're going to go to Duvall here. Leadoff single in a double play. We got bases loaded, nobody out, and we hit into a double play. That's unfortunate, but it's time to close it out. Hunter Harvey strikes out Kim. Solo shot by Ohtani, but it's not enough, and we advance to face the Brew Crew, who eliminated us in the first season, I believe. So we're going to sim game 1. We lose that. Sim game 2. We lose that. So we are down against the odds already, ladies and gentlemen. We got to win 3 straight games against the Brewers. Won 108 games. Wow, that is an unbelievable. I mean, they got a heck of a lineup. It's going to be tough to win 3 games in a row against a team that won 108 games. But James Wood is having the postseason of his life right now. He has been unbelievable. Oh my goodness, he has been raking. Tobias Myers gets out of the bases loaded jam. Shane Bieber, we need him to pitch the game of his life. That Churio grand slam in the first season still gives me nightmares, ladies and gentlemen. That was just unbelievable. So Tobias Myers, besides giving up that home run, and as soon as I say that, James Wood drives in another run. Stolen base, walk, walk, 1 run scores. We're gonna have to take out Shane Bieber here. We're gonna bring in AJ Puck to face Bryce Terang, fielder's choice, not strikeout. What a job by him. Brian Hudson in the pitch. 1-2-3 inning. Few lefties coming up for AJ Puck, and he gives up the tying run. So we're gonna go to Aaron Ashby here. Gives up a double, a fly out, so the game's still tied. Hudson's still in the pitch. We're gonna have him face 2 more lefties. Okay, he gives up a walk and a hit, so we're going to bring in Zach Jackson here. Strikeout, walk, sac fly, and the Brewers take the lead. And a grand slam by William Contreras probably puts the nail in the coffin. Jackson Churio, solo shot. Those two just hate us. I don't know what it is. Oh my goodness, they destroyed us in the last postseason. They do it again. Let's bring in Duvall to get this game over with. This game's all but over. Trevor Miguel in the pitch. There's 1 run, and we are done. The Brewers just have our number. They eliminated us in 2 of the 3 seasons, and that's all they wrote, and they win the World Series over the Twins. So, man, National fans, I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed doing this franchise with the Nationals. We did better than I expected, honestly. I thought we were going to be a team that is maybe around 500. The first season, improve a little bit, maybe make a wild card. We made 2 wild cards, won 90 games twice. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this franchise. Make sure to like and subscribe for more gaming content on the BDJ Gaming channel. And make sure to check out the LTQ Wrestling Crew Wrestling channel in the description. If you like professional wrestling, we talk about all things wrestling. Peace.